And welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We've got a new guest for you every week, somebody important in the community, brought to you by the great folks over there at Hy-Vee, both in Osage Beach and Jefferson City. And today we've got the power team, the Martins here. It's Jane and Scotty Martin from Scott's Concrete. Thank you guys for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thanks for
Thank you for having us.
We're neighbors. You guys are just kind of down the road from us here.
We are.
So that's nice. So you guys are like one of the foundational companies here at the Lake of the Ozark. You know, you guys are one of those companies where the community kind of revolves around. So I thought it would be great to sit down and talk with you guys about all you do. Now, and we were talking a little bit just before we went on the air. Your parents started Scott's Concrete in 1954.
That is correct.
Wow. So
67 years ago.
Hey, that goes back a ways, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So now, in those early days, what was pouring concrete like? I mean, I'm guessing it was a little bit of a challenge with all the hills and everything around here.
One of the first pieces of equipment that my father purchased was an old wrecker.
An old wrecker, okay.
That was because he was stuck all the time. He was a marvelous mechanic, and back then, trucks were a lot easier to work on. Now they're all computerized. We have mechanics with computerized analysis equipment.
Right.
But he didn't have very much money. He was served in World War II, and he came back with an idea that what the Lake of the Ozarks needed was a ready-mix company.
Huh.
And he found one bank that was willing to loan him some money. And he and his father started it, and then he bought his father out very shortly.
Interesting. Wow. And that those were in the days where there's a whole lot of hard physical labor. I mean, it still is, but even more back then, I'm sure, to get the business up and running. So you guys have both born and raised in the lake area, right?
Yes.
So you've been here your whole life.
We like to say that our family came here before there was a lake.
Right, and that's true.
Yeah.
Actually.
Uh-huh.
Right. So what are some of the biggest changes that come to mind? I mean, being lifers here, what's the biggest changes, Scotty, for you from when you were young here at the Lake of the Ozarks?
There's lots of changes. Change isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot. I mean, definitely the influx of people.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that 8 or 9 o'clock the sidewalks rolled up, and now it's more there's people here year round.
Yeah.
You know, there's people here year round. There's people out and about year round. You know, businesses are staying open longer, and it's just a bigger community. Still a small community, but just a bigger community.
Especially the last couple of years, the way it's kind of exploded. How about you? Biggest change for you over the years?
Oh, we used to close the plant during the winter months.
Yeah, just completely closed.
Just completely close it. Our winters were more severe back then too. But with Scotty's daughters, I love to look at the license plates around the Lake of the Ozarks now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not uncommon to see somebody from Alaska. We
Yeah.
never saw people from Alaska. But, and just more people, more everything. I'm not a city girl, and I kind of like the wide open spaces, but it's changed.
Yeah, it's growing. That's for sure. So, and we kind of alluded to it just a second ago, but your family actually came here to the lake area, I think in the 1800s, right?
They did. My father's family was from the north, and my mother's family was from the south. And that was not too terribly long after the Civil War.
Wow.
And I can remember my grandfather saying my mother's family wasn't worth 2 hoots and a holler. And she kind of got peeved at that.
I bet
They
she
loved
did.
each other dearly, but wow,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, that's funny.
they rode horses.
Yeah. Well, and I believe I read that your mom was the last baby born in Old Lynn Creek.
That is correct.
And that's the Old Lynn Creek that's under the water now.
That's correct.
Wow. I mean,
Yes.
that's some pretty cool history.
Yes.
How about that? Okay, that is so neat. Okay, and Scotty, you're a Camdenton graduate, right? And then you're a big Chiefs fan, so you kind of been spoiled with some good football.
Yeah, some good football. And funny thing about Campton High School is you're talking about my grandma. There's the big oak trees in front of the elementary school, which used to be the high school.
Yeah.
Her graduating class planted them.
Really, your grandmother?
I didn't know that.
Hey, how about that?
She
Yay.
told me one day when she was sitting there picking me up, she goes, you see all those balls down there, and they're the little, like, acorns that come off. And she goes, yeah, my class planted these trees.
Unbelievable. What year was that? That had to be in the, 50s maybe, or...
The pictures are up there in the school. We'd have to go look.
Yeah, there
We'd
you
have to go look. Yeah, I can't remember. Well, she was born in 29,
29.
the year of the crash.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe we're almost 100 years from that. Okay, so we are talking with Jane and Scotty Martin from Scott's Concrete, and one of the main reasons why I wanted you guys to come in was partly the history that we've been talking about. That's so cool, but partly because so much that you guys do for the community to help this community out. And with the holidays coming up, one of the main things you are involved in, Scotty, is some stuff you do with Slumberland to help families and beds and stuff. And we're going to talk more about that when we come back right here on Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Isles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the QuickCar Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The QuickCar Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. QuickCar. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with Jane and Scotty Martin, Scott's Concrete, and love the history. I mean, both born and raised here in the lake area, and your family's been here. I guess it's your family too, since
yeah.
the 1800s and stuff. What a lot of people might not know, I mean, I think most do, but a lot of people might not know how generous you guys are in the community and how much you give back to the community, and it's pretty stunning, really. But with the holidays coming up, and I think, Scotty, it was kind of your brainchild to help families who don't have beds to make sure that they get beds.
I wouldn't say it was my brainchild. It was something that Jill and Randy were already doing up at Slumberland, and Daryl and their whole team. And we do a lot of the community meetings, and we do give back in several ways. We're very involved if anybody that knows us and what's going on. And she said what she did, and I just asked her. I said, well, what do you spend? And she told me, and she said we get donations depending on how many mattresses we sell and other people that contribute. And we said, well, why don't we do more? And that's how it all worked.
Amazing. So how do you guys work together and team up, and what do you do?
Basically, we've been doing this. I'd have to ask Jill, but it's been 5 or 6 years, I think, at least.
Yeah.
We do in between. I think the least we've ever done is 50, and normally it gets to be 100 or more. And just in the years I've been involved, I know Jill could tell you off the top of her head, but it's hundreds.
Yeah.
And basically take names, get names, coming up here real quick. We'll get how many beds we have. We will have people basically call us, get names, and then once we get those names, we call and reach back and make sure they're available.
Right.
What the children are, what the need is, because of course there's different size beds for different rooms and things, and it is a mattress, box spring, frame, and
They give
sheets and everything. It's the full deal. And basically then we set up deliveries.
Yeah.
And Jill takes half, I take half. We kind of divide it up in the routes. And we try to get them there about Christmas or the week after Christmas for the kids, because that's when they're all out of school and they're home, and we want to do it when they're home. And basically, it's not just the mattress, but it's actually going out and setting up beds in the house for the kids to either get them off the floor or the futon, or just fulfill the need.
Yeah, and kids that wouldn't have a bed if it weren't for you guys and Slumberland Furniture, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, that's really neat, really cool. I was at a Wonderland camp dinner the other night, you guys were at, and they were thanking you for basically giving them a pool for free, building them a pool to help out Wonderland Camp. And you guys do that in a lot of different ways. So,
and it wasn't a full pool. It was
Yes,
a pool that was established. The pool had been there several years, but it needed some rehab.
Yeah.
And they'd gotten bids, and they were $50,000-$60,000, and we were capable of doing the work. We had some guys that did the work, and basically we got it down. We had some material suppliers donate, because we do some large flooring and polishing contracts on military bases and some of the large commercial stuff. And they were nice enough to donate us some product. We donated some labor, and basically brought that 50 or 60 down to 5, I think, is what we ended up. And that was just our hard cost on materials.
Unbelievable.
And then basically donated our labor end portion of it and everything else.
yeah, but you guys do that time after time, and that's one of the reasons why this is such a special community, because it's not just you, there are several businesses that do that, and so you guys say there's this gifting fund that you have with the community. What is a gifting fund?
It is with the Community Foundation of the Ozarks. It's money that we put aside that we would spend on various and assorted. I always get tickled when people talk about the season of giving. Giving has no season.
Right.
We give year round. But concrete is produced and consumed locally. The concrete business has taken care of our families for how many generations?
6.
6?
Wow.
So, I mean, it makes perfect sense for us to give our money locally. I, for one, like to see how my money is used.
Yeah.
I can go to Wonderland Camp, you mentioned that, and see the children that are being helped, the adults that are being helped. But to me, it's really important to give to something that I know is going to be working.
And especially locally. I mean, absolutely.
Absolutely locally.
That is so cool.
Well, and something on the CFL and the CFO, the Community Foundation of the Ozarks and the Lake, a lot of people don't realize is you basically set up this fund, and yes, it's all our money that goes in the fund, but it's really nice because several years ago, we couldn't really tell you who all we gave to. Mom would do some, I would do some. I mean, it just kind of all came out throughout the year. We just did what we wanted to do in the giving department. And now we have an itemized list.
Right.
Part of their their responsibility is to make sure it's 501c3s.
Right.
Make sure they spend the money properly. So sure, we write the check. We decide where it's going to go or who it's going to go to and how it's going to affect the community. And we make sure it's local or whatnot, but there's that extra set of eyes that say, yes, it is a 501c3.
Yeah.
Yes, we paid for the pool at Wonderland Camp to get refurbished. If we donated to it, did the pool get done?
Right.
There's the follow-up with it that really needs to happen, and it's really nice that we can call up at the end of the year and say, how many did we get?
Yeah.
What was the total? Who were the organizations? And if we ever need that, we've got it.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, there's not just one season of giving, it's kind of the whole year
It's
long.
every day.
Right. So we're running out of time here, but I really wanted to get into your scuba diving, because you're like this huge scuba dive. You hold like the Aggressor 7 Seas Club. So I'm guessing that's
7 Seas of the World Club, yes. Yeah. I love to scuba dive, and I didn't start scuba diving until I was in my 50s, which is kind of a little bit old, but I wanted to get this award. It's where you dive each of their 7 seas, and I have done that. My dream now is to be able to scuba dive with my granddaughters as soon as their father will let them go with me.
One day.
One day. That day.
I got to go too. That's part of the deal.
Absolutely. Hey, you can take us with you.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take pictures. So.
Scotty asked me to take him on the last trip when he was like 16 years old. And I've been taking him on the last trip, I think, for the last 20 or 30 years. So.
It happens.
That's a good deal. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by. We're going to have to do this again and talk more about this, but thanks to Scott's Concrete for all you do.
Thank you for all you do.